here again.
And we've made it again. We have lasted through another COVID quarantine. And thankfully, you, I'm pointing to you, are listening to yet another TV Tan podcast that they said wouldn't happen. I'm Tommy Milagro.
I'm Bill Frost, and we have another special guest on the line. Please introduce yourself out there.
Hey, it's Rachel Piper, all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Rachel.
Rachel is currently with the Journal-Sentinel?
Yes, the historic Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
But not doing much right now, right?
No, I just started, this is my first day on furlough, which means that I am doing a whole lot of nothing for the next 7 days, which is actually kind of exciting.
Nothing is exciting.
I was going to say, is that really the word you want to use here, or are you just trying to placate all of our fans? You know, a half dozen we still have left.
Well, yeah, you know, I think I was kind of born for quarantine because all I ever want to do is sit at home and do things by myself. So this is kind of my ideal scenario.
Same goes for Rebecca Frost.
So how is Rebecca holding up?
I don't know. Fine, I guess. Only see what's happening through Twitter, so as long as everything's going there.
Okay.
The day this episode drops is her birthday, so we'll see who contacts who first.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's going to be her. Let's be honest.
So anyway, this is episode 0317. We've done. I've lost track of how many weeks we've done this remotely, but it still works. Sure.
Yeah, why not? It's about 4 or 5 weeks of us doing shit, and somehow we haven't blown up anything yet.
No, not yet. No, and
Not even iTunes charts?
Yeah. So we better weigh in. Who is our sponsor this week?
Well, for here at the TV 10 Podcast Studios adjacent, broadcasting from a cardboard box somewhere. I am sucking down a little Sugar House Distillery Silver Rum, which we got mixed into a Diet Coke, and we've got it into a nice little Cuba Libre there with some lime juice.
All right, cool.
And now, Rachel, we were kind of talking about this in the greenish room.
In the virtual green room.
Sucking down these days. Yeah, the virtual room.
Virtual room. Going on to the theme of the green room, I'm drinking a Dandelion, which is gin, my favorite, plus absinthe, my second favorite, and lemon juice and simple syrup. Very simple, but also very intense.
Nice.
Jesus God. All right. So basically, you've proven once again that we're both pussies when it comes to drinking. All right. Oh God.
And
that is a drink.
Yeah. And Rachel is here to we'll try not to stick you with being the Outlander correspondent because, you're more than that. And I don't even know if you've been keeping up on the most recent season.
I haven't. I have not watched the latest one. That's probably going to be a furlough week activity though at some point.
And so what have you been watching of interest or of no interest?
So we've been watching an oldie but a goodie, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, they were doing a marathon on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, and
how good that was.
And the Stars have been doing the Battlestar Galacticast commentary podcast as well.
Oh, I have to check that out. I hadn't realized that.
It's out there somewhere. I've seen them talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it had been off of streaming platforms for a while. It used to be on fully on Amazon Prime, I think, or maybe Netflix, and then it was off of anything for a few years. Sci-Fi just brought it back for free, although you do have to watch commercials, which are kind of unbearable because recently it's been all for Trolls World Tour. 4 out of 4 commercials in some cases.
Which I've seen, and
oh God.
Yeah. I will say Rachel Bloom did a fantastic job as the metal troll.
Oh, that's her?
Yes.
Okay, even I was kind of wondering about that voice.
Singing some Aussie. Did a nice job there, but yeah, not a great movie. But it was the only movie out that week, so everyone watched it.
This is what we've been reduced to. But thankfully, if you can't be satisfied with movies, know that you got a metric fuck ton of TV out there.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff coming up this week. You might want to look for some of this. Dropping Monday, the day this episode drops, is a new series on Netflix from Mindy Kaling called Never Have I Ever.
Oh!
It's about the life of an Indian-American teenage girl inspired by Mindy Kaling's own childhood. And basically, all this girl apparently wants to do is get laid. That's what her main... It's so, I'm saying... I would say it's indie teenage girl super bad, but that was Booksmart. So this is its own thing.
Yeah, I want to say, based off of what you're describing to me, I mean... We've kind of seen this already in Master of None with Aziz Ansari, but at the same time, I do like how Mindy Kaling has done a lot of great work after The Office. So how much should I keep my hopes up for this one?
Looks good so far. I've seen a couple of episodes, and very funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is that our hash brown watch harder there?
That is one of them, yeah. And also... I don't know if any of our listeners miss sports, but I know a lot of people are losing their minds over not having any sports to watch.
What are you talking about? We have pro wrestling.
Well, besides
what's
that,
there to miss?
Well, the other sports.
What other sports? What is this other sport?
Well, you'll have to check out Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, a special episode dropping Tuesday on HBO. It's going to have a roundtable discussion with people like Jim Nantz, Joe Buck, who's also very good in the current season of Brockmire. And they're going to be talking about, well, here's what's going on in the midst of all this. And I feel their pain because for the Jorb, I wrote a very intensive article about how to watch Major League Baseball this season that's just sitting there collecting dust.
Jesus God.
Oh, yeah. So I'm interested because I want to get that fucker published.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, because Rachel Pfeiffer is in a state that actually has, had real sports teams. What's that been like? Not having the Brewers going on, and the lack of the beers and the brats, don't you know?
Oh, yeah. It's been real hard,
Well, yeah.
Don't know what to do with ourselves.
Oh, my goodness. So don't tell me they didn't shut down the Miller Company. I don't want to hear no more furloughing of the foam.
Oh, everyone's got to do their part. So, luckily they're essential business here in Wisconsin. So it's still going to get those beers off the line into the grocery stores.
Oh, okay. They're essential. Oh, yeah. So once again, this proves that people understand the importance of alcohol. And in case you haven't been catching up here in Utah news, the liquor stores are still open, but Pennsylvania, they're closed. So, yeah, in what universe is this supposed to fucking happen?
Yeah. So here we even have restaurants can do takeout cocktails.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
Please explain, because I'm trying to work up a new business model. I'm calling it Tom's Tipsy Service. So please do explain.
So I think you can only... I've only started looking into it today because, Furlough gives me freedom. But
Furlough is Freedom. There's our title. Thank you. Continue.
The ones I've seen is you can... I don't know if you can order it by itself, but if you order food from, a restaurant, you can also... Some of them have a drink menu, and you can get, a 750 milliliter bottle of a pre-mixed cocktail that they made in their kitchen.
Okay.
And it's like fancy stuff. It's kind of a, one of the hoity-toity restaurants here is doing it, and it seems like it's about, 2 cocktails for a $20 bottle, or a larger bottle for, $40 or so of a few servings. So yeah, it might be something I have to check out.
Okay. Maybe we need to bring that word out to our fine sponsors as well, Bill, do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to look into that.
Yeah, because, these are the end times, so why not? They're already doing hand sanitizer.
Well, as far as I know, that's all they're doing is hand sanitizer. And
anyway.
Yeah, coming up this weekend, the season 5 premiere of Billions.
Ooh.
The one of the ultimate dad shows. And what's interesting about this is that they didn't finish the season. So we're getting some now and some at a later date.
Wow.
Oh, so they're basically gonna Galactica this. They're gonna give us part 1, and then once everything's better, then they'll give us part 2. Is that the deal?
Eventually, yeah.
Okay, I can live with that.
And also for the bros, Rick and Morty is back on Sunday as well. And also,
you mean the science nerds?
The science nerds.
Science nerds.
Science bros. And also the, Rachel, I don't know if you've seen this show, but I think you might be interested in this. Good Girls on NBC. Have you seen this?
Oh, is that they're like bank robbers, right? Or they are stealing money?
They're Christina Hendricks and a couple other women. They're suburban housewives who have gotten a little too involved with organized crime, and wackiness and a whole lot of tension ensues. It's
Awesome.
a really well done show. I believe the recent seasons are available on Hulu or Netflix, one of those.
Netflix. I've got it on my queue.
Oh, okay. And so you're watching Battlestar Galactica. Did you watch it the first time around?
I didn't watch it when it was on air. We watched it in it felt like 3 weeks in, I want to say 2011.
Okay.
And would just race home from work every day and binge 3 or 4 episodes a night. Just basically out of that Portlandia episode.
Yeah.
That was very accurate to our lives. So yeah, now we're on watch number 2, and it's feeling especially sort of relevant with everyone sort of stuck with what they have on hand, and water shortages and this and that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how does it hold up? And apparently too fucking well.
Very well, although I do wonder how there is such a thriving press in space. There's all these press conferences that have 45 reporters.
Oh yeah, that is true. They held a lot of press conferences.
Yeah, and notice how in Galactica they always meant about, live from the wireless. And I'm like, holy shit, it's podcasting in space.
Yes,
yep.
Nice. And anything else you're watching? Anything you would I recommend or say no?
We're Rick and Morty people in this house.
Okay.
So excited to have more episodes of those. The snake episode of the first half of the season was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Yes, true.
And then there's a streaming service called Epix that maybe you know about, Bill, that I had not really heard much about. And I
no one has.
Try to get a free trial this week because they have Julian Fellows of Downton Abbey fame have produced a limited series based on a book that I read a few years ago that is incredibly soap opera, juicy, illegitimate heirs and romance and dead, attempted murder and this kind of thing. And that's 6 episodes streaming on Epix. And
what is it called?
Give it a shot.
What is it called?
It's called Belgravia.
Ooh, okay.
How do you spell that?
Belgravia.
Well, while we're on the subject of Epix, have you seen Pennyworth as well?
No.
It's the origin story of Batman's Alfred.
Oh, okay.
He was a Secret Service man back in the day.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and the actor that plays Alfred Pennyworth, he's definitely, let me rephrase. He's definitely got the Michael Caine kind of voice, a bit cockney, if you will. But he's a pretty good bloke and tries to help out the Waynes as they travel to jolly old England, and wackiness, hilarity exudes. Is it me, or did I go a little John Oliver there?
No, maybe a little bit, yeah. Do you still have your Epix subscription? Has it run out yet?
No, I'm going to start it this week, so
okay.
I can double up and get some Alfred. Is he like a young, ripped Alfred?
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, I'd also recommend checking out Get Shorty on Epix. It's sort of a series based on the movie from the 90s. It's pretty funny.
Hey, well, who knew all this good stuff was on Epix?
It's basically about a guy trying to get out of crime and get into producing movies, but he can't quite get out of the crime, and he can't quite get into the movie production, and so he's right there in the middle.
So is it is it Barry? Is that the name of it on HBO?
A little bit like that, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's another good one to be binging.
Not as good as Barry, but it's okay. It's all right.
No. You're not pronouncing it right, Bill.
It's Batty.
Hey, Batty.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, we got to go NoHo Hank in this biz.
And also, I've been one of the shows we might have talked about this before. One of the shows I slept on a couple years ago when it premiered. I saw the first couple of episodes and said, I don't know, don't care. But now I'm making an effort to get back into it and see what the big deal is. It's called Manifest on NBC. It's about a
really. Is this the time to get into this?
I don't know, but it's about a plane that goes returning from the tropics, and they experience some turbulence, and then they land, and suddenly in LA it's 5 years later, and everyone just assumed they were dead, and then weirdness starts happening from there. It's very Lost.
Yeah, it sounds kind of Lost / Stephen King-esque.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And so far, I'm almost done with the first season. There are 2 seasons, and so far I'm thinking, so why is this such a big deal? Why why is this a hit? There's not much there. I don't understand. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. Well, and I myself just recently got through watching Nosferatu.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I have to say, well, first of all, have you seen Nosferatu, Rachel?
I have not.
So it's based off of the novel by Joe Hill, who is the son of Stephen King. And basically, it's a new telling of a vampire story. It has vampires, a Rolls Royce, a girl that can travel distances via her dirt bike. Oh, and most importantly, Christmas is evil, which is what I've been saying for years.
Yeah, Nosferatu is NOS 4A2. That's a license plate of Zachary Quinto's evil limousine that travels to the land of Christmas hell.
Oh yeah, Siler is the baddie in this one.
Oh yeah,
naturally.
And doesn't Joe Hill have isn't Lock and Key on Netflix? Isn't that also a Joe Hill one?
That sounds about right. I know it was a comic book. Excuse me, graphic novel. I don't know. I would ask our producer, LaChai Girl, but she's out in the wasteland trying to become essential and stabbing people with a machete. Last I heard. So. That's all I know at this point. If she comes back looking all furiosa, I think we need to start worrying, Bill.
Lock and Key comic book series written by Joe Hill.
Holy shit!
There you go.
Wow, look at that.
And also, I believe Rachel had something she wanted to weigh in about wrestling once upon a time, way back. And
yeah, back before all the everything shuttered down, except for WWE, because that actually is essential according to Florida's governor.
Yeah, AEW wrestling is going as well.
Oh wait, is that the point that we need to segue into that area of business? Sir?
Yes, it is. Here we go.
Then please hit the music.
It's sports with Tommy Milagro. Go team!
From the sports desk in the underground bunker, it is the sport of pro wrestling here, Wisconsin edition here. Rachel had the opportunity way back when, I want to say this is last year or so, around this time?
I don't know. Are you talking about when I went to SmackDown?
Yeah, that's right. That's the one it was. And I remember you had such feedback on there, and you were impressed by all the sport of pro wrestling, especially Otis Dojovic. Please, I cede the spotlight to you, madam.
Oh, thank you.
Go on.
Well, so one thing to know also is that when I was working part-time at City Weekly with Mr. Bill Frost, I was also doing part-time freelance work wherever I could get it, including I was a proofreader on a WWE licensed children's book called Superfan. So 10 years ago, I was editing a book about a kid who gets to go to WrestleMania and desperately YouTubing clips to make sure I had all the names spelled right and that things would make sense. unknowing that 10 years later I would have become a fan of the WWE after watching SmackDown with my brother over Thanksgiving, and then seeing it live in Milwaukee and just getting hooked on all of the just amazing drama. And there's really just nothing better than a soap opera with violence. It's just two perfect things.
See, folks, this is all I've been saying, coming out of her mouth, right there. And I remember your take on Otis. And let me paint a word picture for everybody that's listening here. He is a very, very stocky individual. Think of if Bombor from The Hobbit actually decided to suplex you. That's Otis Dojovic.
He also does like a very impressive worm across the wrestling mat when he gets especially worked up.
and we're talking like breakdancing the worm, which is really impressive for a guy of his size. Which and I knew you wouldn't be aware of it. It's not the worm; it's the caterpillar.
Oh, of course,
because you know, right? Because they're part of the tag team heavy machinery. Therefore, okay, moving on from there. So that being said, we kind of talked about this last time. WWE is still an essential business, especially in Florida, where they're still broadcasting from the Performance Center. Amazing how a little super PAC, i.e. Linda McMahon, floating through $20 million in advertising for, key Republicans can really change a couple people's minds. But we digress. But is there anything else you wish to add more to that, Rachel, before I jump right into it?
Well, just saying that, we're strong fans in this house of King Corbin.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's a villain, but he's basically King Joffrey in Ed Hardy jeans, and it's amazing.
Thank you. I was trying to remember who came up with that quote. It was you. Thank you. That is the most accurate description of King Corbin ever. Well, then, let me segue right into this because I believe you need this more than ever. I believe we've talked about it before, but it bears repeating again. According to Yahoo Entertainment, Chris Hemsworth says he's fascinated by wrestling as he prepares to play, for it, Hulk Hogan.
What?
Oh, yeah. He is, apparently, according to the article, the script has been finalized here, and he is getting real excited. It's going to be interesting how he's going to fit that in between that and Thor: Love and Thunder, according to this. More on that story as it breaks here. And also, let's see, we talked also at WWE News. I don't feel kind of bad about this, not even in the slightest. And I know some wrestling fans are going to say, oh, is this why? Well, get over it. WWE's 2K series, a video game, been a very popular thing over the years, but according to Wrestling Online, there will be no WWE 2K video game released for 2021. And apparently, according to this article, near the very end of today's Q1 financial briefing, Frank A. Riddick III, the interim chief financial officer of WWE, confirmed there will be no launch of the game this year, and that would be the first time since '97 that a WWE video game won't be released annually. Part of the reason is, as it goes on here, there wasn't a lot of good fanfare for 2K20. It was apparently very buggy. So now there's supposedly something coming down the pipeline on Monday, which we won't be able to hear because we're broadcasting live on air this Sunday here. If there's more developments on that, we'll keep you posted. And then speaking of wrestling, Rachel, are you aware of a little thing called All Elite Wrestling?
No.
It's okay. That's all right. It's it's a recent wrestling outfit that is now broadcasting Wednesdays on TNT. It's called AEW Dynamite. Among the people there is the American Nightmare, Cody, and formerly Cody Rhodes in WWE. But he is trying to trademark Cody Rhodes because the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office stated as of April 13th, WWE allowed that trademark to lapse. So the American Nightmare Cody could be Cody Rhodes once again. So more on that as that develops right there. And I'm going to lead with a couple of bad stories, and then there's going to be one good one. So we've kind of announced last week that WWE released a lot of their superstars during the pandemic. Among them, Mike and Maria Kanellis, who, by the by, Bill, I need to tell you this right now. They announced this last week. Mike and Maria Kanellis, they have their podcast.
Of course
now.
they do.
Right, and the title of it is, and I gotta love the name, Non-Essential Podcast.
Okay.
So we got competition, so we may have to step up our game.
That's fine. There aren't that many podcasts out there.
Thank goodness it's only just us these days. And also, among the other names that was questionable whether he was furloughed or just laid off, Cassius Ohno, that's O-H-N-O, was among the names that was let go, but it's been confirmed by Cassius Ohno himself. He is no longer in the employ of WWE and has since been going back, at least on his social media platforms, to his original name, Chris Hero. So he may be, once this whole pandemic thing goes away, maybe returning back to the indies. Which I'm bringing this up to you, Rachel. If you ask some people in the wrestling world, especially those who are fans of Ring of Honor, because Milwaukee's a big wrestling town, especially for that group, ask them about Chris Hero. I think you will be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
And among the other bad news here, and this is bad news of a whole different sort, the Velveteen Dream, we're filing this under, once again, Reddit. Velveteen Dream has apparently been caught in some quote-unquote bad behavior here. So apparently a private photo of him in the nude apparently was, according to this, shared without his consent or knowledge. And according to the Dream, he's working with a third party to look into the matter. And apparently a Reddit user claimed that the Dream was sending them and their friends messages of a sexual nature through Instagram direct message. The Reddit user posted a censored screenshot of a nude picture that Dream allegedly sent them and claimed that Dream blocked them after they wouldn't send him a nude picture back. So, yeah, that can't be good, especially when he's supposedly going to be in a championship match coming down the line with Adam Cole pretty soon. More on that as it hopefully doesn't develop.
Hopefully it develops no further than that. Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, this is some good news, and it tells me that of all the people in the world, these are the ones that we need to really follow as far as being responsible adults with social distancing. And I never thought I'd use these words, but brace yourself, folks. Hang on. Let me get some genius juice here. Oh, and Rachel, if you haven't sucked down your dandelion, I think you need to for this one. Tell me when you're ready. Okay. I'm ready. Are you, Rachel?
I'm ready.
The Insane Clown Posse. Now, before you ask, why does it involve pro wrestling?
Tragedy.
They were pro wrestlers at one time, and
Tragedy.
they do have... Yeah. Well, no, it's not quite a tragedy just yet. And they do have a wrestling outfit, Juggalos Championship Wrestling, or JCW, which is sometimes at the Gathering of the Juggalos. But according to RollingStone.com, they are canceling the 2020 Gathering of the Juggalos. And according to a statement they made, quote, the bottom line is we refuse to risk even one Juggalo life by hosting a gathering during these troubling times.
It's all about family.
Right? And they also go on to say, in closing, we want everyone to heed the words of Fred Fury and Flip the Rat. Be safe, watch your step, and take it easy. You can't replace what you mean to our team. Without you, tell me, where the fuck would we be? ICP closed out with a hearty whoop whoop. So, that's that, folks. It should be very clear. If your leaders are telling you to ingest disinfectants and the Insane Clown Posse is saying, no, don't be Fago, please heed those words because...
It's Sparta telling my logo, go team.
You know, hard to believe Shaggy 2 Dope would be the voice of reason here.
I know.
Never saw it coming.
2020, who can we trust?
Well,
Kat Timpf, who was a National Review columnist, also a Fox News personality, probably had the best take on this. She's familiar with the Juggalos and the gathering of the Juggalos. She's younger. And she says, you know, for a place where you can go see a crowd send a porta potty crowd surfing and then blow it up, for them to be concerned about germs and viruses, that's saying something.
Yeah.
That was the best quote I saw there. And also, Rachel, Bar Rescue, the most current season, has made 3 Utah stops.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
One was in...
Where have they been?
One was in Bountiful at Linda Lou's.
Okay.
I'd heard of that one. The other one...
I thought that was Linda Lou's Time for Two.
Yes. Now it's something else. Or maybe it's back. We don't know. And also the other one was in Midvale at a place called The Union that I've never heard of before. And just last weekend, they did a bar in Tooele. It was called, I've already forgotten the name of it. It was a very, very boring name. But this place was a fucking shithole. It was falling apart. It was, just...
Yeah, it was on the main drag of Tooele.
Well,
excuse me, the former main street of Tooele.
Yeah, it's the highway. The highway bypassed it, so therefore it turned into kind of a dilapidated part of town, and this is right in the middle of it. And so they gave it a big makeover. Bill Allred and Gina Barberi went out. They recorded this last year. Gina Barberi and Bill Allred from the Morning Zoo went out there and made an appearance on the show. And so they rehabbed it as a place that does endless chicken and cocktails.
Endless cocktails, or just the chicken is
endless chicken. You basically, I think you pay like $12 and you just eat chicken until you explode.
Wow, does Eric Peterson know about this place?
I hope it's not too late. I hope they're still in business after all this is over. And also, I'm going to. Well, I always recommend this show, Killing Eve, on BBC America, also AMC. They're running them simultaneously on both channels. Apparently, they think that gets you double the ratings. I don't know what the reasoning is, but they're doing that. And the second season was okay. Wasn't quite up to the first season standards, but I would say season 3 currently, we're about 3 episodes in. It is back up to season 1 standards, so I'm just reviving my hearty recommendation for that show.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear, because we are big Killing Eve fans, but yeah, we got, I think, 4 episodes into season 2 and kind of just petered out because it wasn't as, the first season, based on your recommendations, Bill, we watched in one heady weekend and loved it.
Yeah.
And then season 2 was a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah. Unfortunately, to be up on things, you're probably going to have to finish season 2 if you want to get into season 3. Or maybe just the last episode of season 2. You'll be fine, probably.
In other words, you need to power through it.
Maybe, yeah.
Is that what... Yeah.
Yeah, also had a recommendation here specifically for Rachel. Do you have Amazon Prime Video?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe you've seen this. Jamestown.
No.
It is from the Downton Abbey people. It is set in 1619. It's about colonizers in Jamestown, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
It's very, very dramatic. Lots of desire, power, and survival. And
repressed, a lot of repressed feelings.
Yeah, well, for about a decade or so, the area has only been populated by men. then these women folks show up, and then trouble starts a happening.
Is Jamestown the one that disappears? Am I mixing up my colonies?
I don't know if it disappears.
There's some kind of colony that like there no one knows what ever happened to the people who lived in it because it just sort of ended.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I want to say it was like one of the colonies that settled around Roanoke, Virginia, and it had the scratched out words Kratoa or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it's Roanoke. I can't remember. I know, I'm very certain on this. There was an American Horror Story based off of that event. I don't remember the season. Do you, Bill?
No.
Okay. That means that wasn't that popular, so not all of them can be perfect there. Sorry, Dan Murphy.
But this one, Mrs. Frost was watching this, and I checked it out and was going, oh, that looks pretty cool. It is behind the, I believe it's behind the PBS Masterpiece paywall, but, you get a free trial period and just power through it. It's 3 seasons, very short seasons, and that's all there is, 3 seasons.
Awesome. Jamestown. All right.
Jamestown,
put it on the list.
Also,
let me add what.
Yeah, go right ahead.
May I add one more?
Go right ahead.
So, do you have HBO as well, Rachel?
Yes.
So I'm going to bring this up because you like Killing Eve, which was created and developed by Phoebe Waller-Tate of Fleabag. Also, what's that?
Well, I think Phoebe Cates is someone else. Phoebe Waller-Bridge is Killing Eve.
Sorry, and not sorry, because, that means...
Whatever happened to Phoebe
really
Cates?
Working.
Whatever happened to Phoebe Cates after Drop Dead Fred?
She's still with Kevin Kline. It's a terrible thing.
Oh.
Especially in these furloughing times. But, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, thank you. She also developed Killing Eve, but she also developed this new show on HBO, Run. And it's an interesting story. It's about these two, this boy and a girl, after 19 years, all it took was one text that said run, and they left their respective lives and are now on this journey together to try to refine love or find something else.
It was a pact they made in college. It's like, one day in the future, if one of us is just at a complete impasse in life, I will text run to you, and if you text it back to me, we're going on a cross-country trip to figure shit out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I can be into this.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge also, she has a part in this. She's not one of the main characters, but she has a, I don't know, it's a small part, but it's funny.
Okay. And she wrote it, or she just put her name on it?
Could
be one where she just put her name on it.
Okay.
I think she wrote a couple of episodes as
okay.
well. At the very least, the first episode. Can't say about the rest, but what I've seen, and it's only been like 2 episodes so far, it is you're going to be riveted towards it. This is my watch harder. And that's saying something, considering I'm hip deep into Westworld, and I'm still going, the fuck is going on? But Run? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And also back on the Amazon Prime Video beat, I don't know if you ever saw a movie called Disobedience from about 2 years ago.
No.
It's about a woman returning to her London hometown. She's been in New York for about 10 years or so. Her father, he's a rabbi in a very Orthodox Jewish community. He dies, and so she's back in town. And she rekindles her forbidden relationship with another woman, which is kind of the reason she left town 10 years ago. And now it's all back on again. And it's a really good movie, but the funniest thing about it is the stars are Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking we could either do a sequel to this or maybe even a Broadway musical version of this and cast it with nothing but Rachels. and who would the cast be? I would think you could get Rachel Bilson in there.
Rachel Bloom is going to be on Broadway.
Absolutely, Rachel
there
Bloom.
You go.
Yeah. Rachel Harris from Lucifer, maybe. I was trying to come up with all the possible Rachels to round out the cast here. I guess Evan
great.
Rachel Wood might kind of
She counts.
She can be in there, yeah. Rachel Maddow, maybe?
It counts. Yeah. Oh,
Rachel Maddow, yeah. So anyway, that's my movie recommendation, Disobedience on Prime Video. Really good movie.
Great.
And yeah, I don't know if we have anything else to bring up here. We've let's see, we shortened the episodes a while ago, but now they're creeping back up to the hour mark. So there are no rules anymore, really.
What is time?
Where a while we were doing half-hour episodes, and then they started creeping back up, which is totally fine. It makes absolutely no difference in the ratings whatsoever, from what I can see. No matter what we do,
ratings.
it's still right there.
What are ratings?
Yeah. And surprisingly, I read something during the times of COVID that podcast listenership is actually down across the board, not up.
Weird.
Yeah, I would have thought it would have gone up, but no, it's down.
Well, no, it's not that surprising. It's real simple. We just don't have a throuple that are invested in exotic animals with a murder in there. It's just science, man.
Fucking Tiger King, man. Tiger King is not the most interesting story of the whole lockdown TV ratings. Dave on FXX, about a suburban white rapper who thinks he's the next Kanye West. It's a comedy, and it's actually much funnier than I expected it to be. But it dropped right as this whole everything was starting up, and it's seen it for the first few episodes. It saw next day on demand on Hulu and everywhere else an over 2,000% increase in viewership.
Holy cow.
Over 2,000%, which turns it into the most watched show on the FXX networks, right behind Atlanta. So I'm guessing by the time it has its season finale next week, it might surpass Atlanta. And Donald Glover's going to be pissed.
Oh, shit.
Another white man coming up against him.
Well, as he put it so eloquently, this is America.
And anything to add from the great state of Wisconsin there, Rachel?
No. It's sort of desert as far as things that are set here. Not a lot of things are set in Wisconsin. Nothing is filmed in Wisconsin because, you know how Utah has like that whole giant tax break that it gives to movie studios, so they'll come film Westworld and stuff there.
Yeah.
Wisconsin had that briefly. They gave it all to Public Enemy, the movie starring Johnny Depp, and it just like fucking backfired, and they didn't like hire anyone local, this and that, so they've never done that again, and so nothing is filmed in Wisconsin.
Oh.
Well, you know what? I know the best way that they can recoup that, and they can just get back on track, and it's such a no-brainer. I'm surprised nobody has ever thought of this. Just do the reboot of Laverne and Shirley, and everything will come back to normal.
With
it's
Rachel,
true. That is actually a great idea.
With Rachel Weisz and Rachel McAdams.
Hey! We got our casting!
It's two women. They were laid off during COVID.
Yeah, there you go.
Restart the careers. They moved to Milwaukee where the housing prices are dirt cheap because the DNC came and never came, and the economy tanked in Milwaukee, and they can get a house for a penny.
Really?
Get a job at a brewery. 2021 gold.
Nice.
I like it.
Let's start writing the script right now, fellas.
Okay.
All right.
We're gonna say goodnight, America. So I just said that. Now you all can say goodnight, America.
Good night from Utah. And Rachel?
Oh, good night from Wisconsin.
Well, let me jiggle that handle there, don't you know? Because it's time to... Gosh.